Doesn't mean it can't go there. No, it can't. I'm not sure where these go. Just look at all my shelves. Yeah? Is space more important? Maybe. These go here. That doesn't really go there, does it? Oh, right there. It doesn't fit there. I don't know what this is. There is a book hiding under here. To this day, I'm still salty about it. I don't care anymore. Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video, we are going to first ignore what a complete and utter mess I am. I have been working really hard the last 2 days, like cleaning and touching up my doing like touch-up painting and stuff like that. Mostly on my baseboards, but anywhere else it needs to be done. So I'm just a complete and utter mess. But since I have the cleaning bug, I figured today was a really good day to go ahead and tackle a project that has been plaguing me. And that is to clean and reorganize my library. There are definitely a few things that have in particularly been bothering me with the organization. And that is like my science fiction books are, I'm kind of stationary with this camera right now, but we will go take a look at it. But like my science fiction, like the organization of my books doesn't make any sense. And as we get into it, I will kind of point out what it is I'm talking about. First, I'm going to go through all my bookshelves and figure out which books I can just unhaul and set aside some books that I'm going to be doing for my next Read It or Unhaul It video. Then we're going to get into reorganizing. And then finally, I will show you all the books that I have collected to do a big unhaul. Okay, first things first, my Shadowhunter books. Don't get me wrong, I love this series. I truly do. I love the whole experience. As you know, I have a whole long list of my reading journey through the entire series, this whole world that Cassandra Clare has created. I love the characters. One of the things that has bothered me always, that I always keep returning to every time it comes up, is how the books that I have don't match. You can see I have all of these in hardbacks. They're not organized at all. But I have Clockwork Princess, City of Souls, City of Heavenly Fire, Lord of Shadows, Lady Midnight, Tales of Shadowhunter Academy, Ghost of the Shadow Market, Chain of Gold, Chain of Iron, and Chain of Thorns. And then for the paperbacks, I have The Bane Chronicles, City of Fallen Angels, City of Glass, City of Bones, Clockwork Angel, City of Ashes, Clockwork Princess, and I'm too sure. Oh, what do you know? I actually have duplicates going on here. So how do I even want to do this? God, I don't even know what's going on. Okay, just gonna remove everything. While the hardbacks are beautiful to collect, especially when it comes to these giant bricks, this is not comfortable to hold. I think that in the future I will opt out for getting paperbacks, especially with these big ones. If it's small hardbacks, these are fine. These I don't mind at all. They look beautiful and everything, and I appreciate that they're more durable than a paperback. But with these guys, okay, so this is the final season. Oh my god. This is the final series. This one is going to the unhaul pile. This is the only one I spent full price on, and to this day I'm still salty about it. This was the worst collection of short stories. I hated every second of it. I pushed through for the sake of my video series. It was awful. It was just an awful experience. I will never read these again. Every time I look at it, I'm like, I can't believe I paid $15 for you. Actually, okay, so the cover price is $25. I think I actually ended up paying $12.99. I found it on Amazon for that, but still, that is way too much for me, especially when I'm used to paying like no more than $5 for a book, especially for such a bad book. So that's unhauled. Okay, Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows. Where's the first one? I think I'm missing a book from this series. This was another trilogy that I did not enjoy at all. I was bored. However, watched other people's videos on this series or on the whole universe, and there apparently is a lot. There's a character in this series that becomes really important when you get to this trilogy. It kind of sort of made me want to give this another try and pick out, but I think that I'm actually ready to just move on. I'm not that obsessed with the story that I need to know that small detail, because this is a lot of pages I don't care anymore. So we're gonna unhaul these. Also, these are incredibly easy to find at libraries. If ever I wanted to go back to the series, I'll just go to the library. But I don't ever see myself doing that. The Mortal Instruments is 6 books. So we have City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, and then City of Heavenly Fire. So I have these 2 hardback books for the 5th and 6th books. Now this set just drives me absolutely crazy because I have 3 of the books with this cover, with these spines, which are my favorite. If I could do it again, I would just get all the matching ones with this spine. Then I have City of Ashes with this spine. And then I have the last 2 books in the hardback books. I have half a mind. Oh, I can't do that. I had half a mind to get rid of these and maybe keep my eye out for the last 2. It looks like I have actually tabbed these up. I guess I'll keep these. So that brings this set, and maybe I will keep my eye out for a new City of Ashes that matches the spine. But for now, I'm going to keep them. Okay, and then we have the Infernal Devices series, which is Clockwork Princess, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Angel, which again is a very mismatched. And I do really like, so I'm going to be keeping these. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then this one is a duplicate of Clockwork Princess, so I'm going to get rid of this one. Then we have Bane Chronicles. This one is a tough one to decide whether to keep, but will I ever read it again? I don't know. It's undecided. You know what? I really don't like to mix series, so I don't think I want to put anything else in that space, so I'll put this one there. And then we didn't talk about this one, Ghosts of the Shadow Market, and this for me was incredibly strong. I loved this collection of short stories. I thought that it was so well done. So that's that. And then of course I have the Shadowhunters. I just feel like I have to have this for my collection. This is like an annotated book that Shadowhunters get when they go to the academy, which is really cool. That will not fit up there, but that's fine. I can go there. Okay, now, I don't know what to do with this space just yet. We're gonna go ahead and move down to this. Oh, whoops. I have this one too. The Mortal Instruments Companion. Can't go up there? All right. That's okay. Okay, so I don't know what I'm going to do with this space just yet. Obviously, something's going to have to take up the space. We're going to move on down to this shelf. I'm going to actually combine my Sarah J. Maas books with my Leigh Bardugo books. And I kind of sort of considered using this space for Leigh Bardugo and then having it continue down this way. So all of these like Buffy books, they don't need to be here because these kind of need to be like this, right? Hold on. Very nice. Okay. I'm missing a couple of these books because I was going to talk about them. I don't know if this is going to work. Do I move these up there? Oh, wait. No, maybe we do this. Nope, can't do that. Okay. Does Ninth House go separately? No, because it's all Leigh Bardugo. That is a tight fit. Maybe Crescent City goes up here with this because it's adult fantasy. Oh yeah, and then we have this other Cassandra Clare book, which is her adult fantasy book. So let's do that, and we'll do these up here. Okay, that's gonna be good because at least that's adult fantasy. And then here I have Kingdom of Ash, Tower of Dawn, and Empire of Swords will go here as well. Still have this space up here though. Okay, down here I kind of have this like dragon books, right? Okay, well these are Phoenix. This is about dragon. These are about phoenixes. I don't know what this is. This, there's something sounds good about it, but I don't know. I know they're like, I don't know if I'm going to keep these or not. It's kind of cool. There's like a skull in the back. These obviously look like independently published. What is Furyborn? 2 queens. Okay, queens, dragons. All right. Maybe this one can go here. I know that doesn't really have a mate. Oh, Maybe romantasy can start coming up here. A Fate Inked in Blood. Then we have this series, which I recently acquired. They are like more middle grade, but they are like Phoenix writers. And then we have Smoke of Thieves, Demon World, Wrath and Dawn, Rose of Daggers, Three Dark Crowns. That's romantasy. I probably need to actually make a spot for all my Jennifer L. Armentrout books. I want to get this whole set eventually. I've been keeping my eye out for the paperback versions that are this size. I think they're not quite 100% standard size. No, they're like this size. There's a book hiding under here. Okay, Jennifer L. Armentrout's Fall of Ruin and Wrath. I read this book. I did like it. I did feel that it was very reminiscent of from Blood and Ash series, which I like a lot better. I don't see myself continuing on with the series. I don't see myself ever reading this series again. So I think I'm going to unhaul this. Here we go. From Blood and Ash. I think this is Fireborn. Is that a dragon book? Dragonfire. Okay, so this can go here. These are all romantasy. I don't think these are all going to fit here. I think these need to go for tall books. Oh, I know what's going to go here. Or you know what? Maybe aren't these witch books? Because maybe this needs to go here. This is a witch book. Maybe like that. Alright, Karen Marie Moaning books can go up here. This is a series I really want to read. This one's like, I'm really debating whether or not to keep this one because this is so far in the future of the series, which I have not even started. The Fever series includes Dark Fever, Blood Fever, Fey Fever, Dream Fever, and then Shadow Fever. Dark Fever, Blood Fever, Fey Fever, and then there's Dream Fever and then Shadow Fevers. A beautiful copy. Now I'll give them that. But it's just so big and I haven't even started the series. I feel like this is not a difficult book to get a hold of. I could probably find it. These don't take as much room, so I can have the first 3 books. But this is going to be quite the commitment and I don't even have the 4th book. I don't know. I'm really debating whether or not I need to keep this book for right now. Like, I can always go get it when I decide to read it. I don't know. Okay. I don't know what to put there right at this moment though. We're looking at, doesn't quite fit, does it? This is kind of steampunk. I need to see if I can put it down there. No, this is not. This is more science. City of Brass? Dirty Job. That is not the vampires. Ghosts. Ghosts and Ghosts. Okay, I forgot to grab the books that I was going to do for the next Read It or Unhaul It. Let's do that. We're going to grab Cast in Firelight, Shadow City. Oh, you know what? I can put this one in here. C-section. So I actually did read this one. It was a gift for Mother's Day. To be real, part of me just wants to unhaul it because I didn't really enjoy it. I'm not probably going to reread it, but it was still a gift. And I feel guilty for getting rid of it. We're just going to display it like this. That's freeing up some space up here. Red Riding Hood. Or not. Do I want to do it that way? Or maybe do double stacks like that. We'll do that in a minute. We'll do the witchy books in a minute. Okay. Ravens. I am really torn on whether to keep this book or not. It looks really cool. It's dark academia. I'm not going to read it again. I was going to check out the 2nd book, but I ended up not. I'm really torn. Am I going to read this book again? No. Just look at all my shelves. It's part of a cool collection. Yeah. Is space more important? Maybe. I'm not going to rush out and go sell all these books right away, so I can always just put them aside, see how everything fits, and if I can keep some, then I can. That's a witchy book. That goes there. These go here. That doesn't really go there, does it? 3 more books to add to the Read It or Unhaul It. The Iron Trial. This is an ARC. It was by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare. I believe it has something to do with like fairies. It doesn't even have a cover at all. I don't necessarily want to take up space. I do hope that I like this series, but it is a series starter. I think that's why I haven't gotten to it yet. I think I found this for free in a little free library, It might just have to find its way back to a little free library, but I figure I'll go ahead and give it a read first. Then we have Riding Hood. This is a recent acquisition. This looks really cool, actually. Oh, here, wait. Actually, I'll put that right there. And then we have Everland. I really don't know whether or not to keep this. I did read this already. It's really cool. It's like steampunk Peter Pan retelling. I just don't think I got into it very much. I don't really even recall it. I almost want to give the book a second chance before I decide to unhaul it. So I might stick that in the read it or unhaul it. And even though it's a reread, I can just decide whether or not it is something I want to keep on to or not. Oh, Tiger Lily. I'm doing better than I thought, I think. Swap these. We'll do that shelf here in a second. This shelf kind of does not make any sense. It started out as a retelling shelf. It is so far removed from that now. Maybe we need to move on over here before we work on this some more. I think we're going to swing the camera around here and take a look at what's going on. On these shelves, it is a complete and utter mess. Okay. The idea was I started putting all the books I've already read together up higher in places I didn't need to get to all the time. That doesn't seem to quite be working anymore. These are vampire books, and I kind of was keeping vampire books together. Maybe I will leave these here. This is like angel lore. This doesn't really go here. This is more angels. That doesn't go there either. I thought I had another place where there's a book about angels. Oh, right there. It doesn't fit there. I mean, doesn't mean it can't go there. No, it can't. This is superhero stuff, so these don't really go there. I'm thinking I'm going to put vampire stuff up here, and I think it's going to carry on to over here. Then we're going to go into, I don't have a lot of them, but I have werewolf books. So vampires, werewolves, and witches can go here. And then I think further down we'll do retellings, and then I might do like children's, middle grade and children's at the very bottom. I don't freaking know. Maybe Caraval needs to go up here though. Or is it considered romantasy? Okay, Strange the Dreamer. That can go over here. I have Paolini as well. I think this is science fiction. Yes. That is a whole other beast in of itself. I don't know where the heck to put science fiction. This is a retelling. What is Siren? Siren? System of Bargains Made in Blood and Ancient Magic. Okay, this is kind of a Bone Witch one, I think. Only a monster. I feel like that can go down there. Okay, these, where does Adventure go? I don't even know. I think retellings need to go on this bottom shelf. Yeah. Oh, I found another one to add to the Read It or Unhaul It. This is The Legend of Eli Monpress. I don't even know what this is about. Fans of Lies of Loch Lamora should like this book. I haven't read that one, so I don't really know. I did think it sounded cool. I actually thought that maybe my son might like this book, and I feel like that's why I got it. Starless Sea. I feel like Starless Sea does not go here. Witches of Ash and Ruin. My Diviner set drives me crazy for the exact same reason Shadowhunters did, and that's because I have this book, which is, and then I have the other two in paperback. This is romantasy. While it is kind of like witchy and stuff like that, it is supposed to be romantasy, but I don't think it's going to fit on that shelf. So, alright, these two are romantasy. I had a space above the Throne of Glass series. While they kind of don't go with the series, they are kind of the same type of genre, being more romance facing fantasy. So I think I'm going to put this with the Sarah J Maas books. Paladin's Grace. I don't know where this goes. Oh, is it Paladin? That goes with something. I guess that can go over here. Ordinary Monsters. Victorian London Fantasy. Cool. Alright, that's working well. Magician's Daughter. Study in Drowning. That's more, isn't that more paranormal? I'm not sure where these go. House of Salt and Sorrows. That's again not really the same thing. Maybe we should just stick to that. Okay, we got Truth Witch and Wind Witch. I think horror. Oh. Hold on. The Libba Bray books. Winter Song. This is a retelling. This is a retelling, okay? London Seance Society. I feel like that kind of goes with that style. I'm gonna pause this and I will show you what I got going on. I'm to a stopping point. I don't know that it is perfect. I feel like I got to a point in this project where I was just like, why did I do this to myself? And I do that every single time. I did end up adding quite a few more books to the Unhaul pile. I thought that would be fun to go ahead and go through that here in just a minute. I'm actually going to flip the camera around, or hand hold the camera, and I'm going to show you the new organization system and point out a few things I'm still unhappy with, a little unsure about. However, one of the big things was to deal with all of the double stacking that was going on, which I feel like I did very good with. It's still not 100%. Not much has changed up here. That all stayed the same. On this shelf, y'all saw me do that. Y'all saw me do mostly these two shelves. However, we have these more kind of adventure books. Daughter of the Pirate King and Daughter of the Siren Queen and Cerulean Sea. I have no idea where to put those. It doesn't feel right putting them there. Then down here we have all the like witch books. And then we have more witch books, but these tend to be a little bit more darker. Then we move into vampire books. And then we have the Spinning Silver. Oh, that doesn't go there. Actually, I might be able to move that one up. It starts to get a little hairy because then we have Splendors for Glooms. I don't feel like that really goes there either. Then we have all the Charlene Harris books, and those are double stacked to more mass market paperbacks, vampire books as well. There's some Anne Rice behind there. Then down here we get into science fiction. Remember, one of the biggest things was that the science fiction took up the whole bottom, like the whole bottom shelf. This is still not good. For the most part, there's science fiction here. On the bottom, you will see that there are a bunch of children's books. Those are double stacked. I had to get them off the floor, but behind them are more science fiction and dystopian, like, you know, the Hunger Games books, Divergent books, Delirium. Those are all behind there. Ones that I won't be reaching for very much because I've already read them. But I didn't have anywhere to put the children's books. Then they still ended up kind of carrying on over here. You could see Gemina, Insidio. There's more children's books that are double stacked. And then there are the retellings. They don't really fit there either. Thought that I was going to be able to put science fiction and then all the children and retellings together down there. If I had time to play with it more, I maybe can make it work. Okay, so then up here we have the Sarah J. Maas, Cassandra Clare, Sarah J. Maas, Leigh Bardugo. I almost wonder there's less Leigh Bardugo than there is Sarah J. Maas. Maybe I need to put the Leigh Bardugo with the Cassandra Clare and swap those. It still isn't going to fit right. I feel like at least it fits right like that. And then we have these two that don't really fit either of those, but they are romantasy. Then moving down, dragons, phoenixes, romantasy. Then we have, this is kind of a mix. It's basically fantasy of different kinds, I would say. Here we have epic fantasy. One of my biggest things is I didn't have a dedication for epic fantasy, and I actually have a lot more epic fantasy that are mass market paperbacks, which are over there in that brown thing. And then I actually have quite a few more steampunk style books down here, and then they are double stacked a little bit there too. This I got very frustrated with. These were vampire books. They were beautifully arranged, but they were separated from all the others. So when I moved them, I was like, crap, what do I put over here? So it's a little bit of hodgepodge again. but at least, you know, they do look nice together. Up here, I moved all my Frankenstein stuff. And then none of these really changed. What changed is this middle section. I went ahead and took all of the general fiction, literary fiction, the ones that were double stacked on these shelves, and just made this into a shelf. These books right here were these are part of a video that I was filming. I think I'm done with the video. I'm not sure. Nonfiction. This stack right here, these are going to be the next up books to read it or unhaul it. These are the books for my reading challenge. This part didn't change really, except I moved My Plain Jane. I have a little bit more space going on this shelf because I had 2 copies of Middlemarch, which I got rid of. These probably still need to go back up on the top shelf, but I haven't got the ladder out. Yep, and that's it. But it's not perfect, but I do feel like I can live with this for a while. It was just feeling incredibly messy. I had to run and pick up my son at school, and then I made a few more changes, so let me show you what I ended up doing. So over here where I had all the children's books, I ended up moving those into here. What used to be in there was a bunch of mass market paperback books, and they were really double stacked. I wasn't able to see what I had, so I ended up moving those into this dresser. In the first drawer, oh my goodness, I feel like Rory Gilmore. Do you remember when she like has a dresser, all the drawers are filled with books? So it's actually incredibly heavy, but this is all the fantasy books. I really worry about breaking this, but here are all of the mass market fantasy books. I just am careful. This is actually a dresser that I found for free. And I had to rebuild the legs and stuff on it, okay? And then here is the other drawer with other miscellaneous. There's a few more fantasy over there that didn't fit, and then there's other miscellaneous and classics in here too. All right, so I'm actually really pleased. I had thought about doing that when I put this dresser in here. So, but I was actually wanting to go ahead and repaint the dress. The idea is to repaint this dresser, and I had this whole idea of like painting it black with brown and gold accents and doing some like designs. I have some pictures saved on Pinterest of kind of what I was thinking, because it's very kind of like modern looking. But then I thought, I always do black. Maybe I want to do something like a forest green. I have 3 bags going, and I have a few more books to unhaul, so I thought I would show you that. Olive again, this is a sequel to Olive Kitteridge, which I recently read and I hated, and so I definitely am not going to read the second book. The next one is Swan Thieves. This is actually a duplicate. I ended up finding a paperback copy of this, and I just don't want the massive hardback copy. This was actually a really difficult decision to make because, I mean, it is really, really nice, but I think that I really like reading from a paperback book more than I do hardbacks. The next one is The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. Again, I found a paperback copy of this. So, and this one is kind of sort of beat up, a little bit stained pages and stuff like that. So this one I'm actually going to be giving to a friend, so I'm glad that I did this because I need to keep it out. And this is News of a Kidnapping by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I had found this and thought of my friend because she actually has a little market shop where she sells a lot of Colombian things. She can put it in her shop. So everything you need, computer science and coding in one fat notebook. I absolutely love these books. They are so cool for kids. It's like a notebook, and it's a workbook too, so that puts everything in there and they can write in it and everything else. But my son says he already knows everything. So he did flip through it. He read it all. He's like, honestly, the only helpful thing was the small thing, and he doesn't need it anymore. So some other kid that wants to learn to code. All right, we have The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. That's a duplicate. Shadow of the Wind is a duplicate. This is the second in this manga series. I don't have the first one. I don't know. This one's a really difficult choice. I've been thinking about it like over and over if I actually want to put this in the Unhaul pile. But I need to be real with myself. I'm not going to read this. I tried really hard and I couldn't read it, and it's not going to get any better waiting for... I think what I'm sad about is I actually love the book. Like, it's super floppy. I love the paper. I love the text. I love how unique the page numbers are. I like this design and structure of the book itself, but I don't like the story at all. And from everyone I've heard that's reading it, that has been reading it in the last couple months, it's like nothing happens, and I just cannot. There's no point. So there's no point in keeping it. And that is 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami. So I'm going to take all of my page flags and stuff like that out of here. The Girl with the Pearl Earring. I did read this recently. I did think it was really good. I don't need to keep it. The Little Clan. This is a duplicate. This little collection of Abraham Lincoln books. I just thought they looked so cool. I think it would be very interesting to read about him. He was a very interesting man. These books are really falling apart. I need to be real with myself. Am I going to sit down and read them? No. Some collector. I don't know if these are collectors worthy. The bookstore people, I think that they Google it to see if they're collectors or not. They may or may not take them. I don't know. If they don't, I'll put them in a little free library. Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. I made it 120 pages, I think. And I was liking it, but it just felt flat. And honestly, I had heard that a lot from people who were reading this book. Like, it seems like it's made of all the stuff that I would love. And I was like, I'm not going to listen to anyone else. I'm going to love this book. Because I don't really get along well with some of his other books that he's written that everybody loves. So I was like, maybe this is a good book for me. So it just, I don't know. Also, if I ever wanted to read it, I can rent it from the library. So then we have The Shadow Club by Neil Shusterman. I really like this author. He writes. I'm reading the Arc of the Side series, which I really like by him. But this, I'm just don't really care about the premise of it anymore. I got it thinking maybe my kids would like it. Sometimes I just put stuff on their bookshelves and think maybe they'll get curious. Because if I tell them, hey, you should really read this book, they're like, oh yeah, thanks mom. And they never look at it again. Not necessarily. Sometimes they get a bit better, but I don't know. I started reading the back of this book again. I'm just like, this is not interesting. So The Fall of Giants. This is actually just a duplicate. Okay, from today's video, all of the Shadowhunter... Whoa. Oh my God, I'm about to drop it. From today's video, all of the Shadowhunter books that I don't want anymore. This copy of Pride and Prejudice, I just found a much better copy that I love and adore. I'll grab it. This version. So I found a copy of this so I can... I thought it was going to be cool because it's small and it's like really like a tall size, and like I was thinking I could bend it back, but like look at this text. Like, I don't know, that's just not appealing to my eyes at all. And sometimes when it comes to a book, like, you just need to really enjoy the book itself, the aesthetics of the book itself. Bye bye. Then we have Tonight the Streets Are Ours by Leela Sales. This is like some teenagery love story. Not into it. Very hyper focused around music and stuff like that. Just not into it. Never Let Me Go. This is actually a duplicate. Here's that one, Olive Kitteridge. I hated it. Alright, here is another one that is a duplicate. I had this copy of Middlemarch. And this is one of the Oxford Classics. I do really like these books. I think they're really nice. Then I found this copy of Middlemarch. And it's bigger. It's beautiful. And it is incredibly floppy. Whereas that one's not very much. and it has deckled edges. I know that a lot of people do not like that. I kind of do like it. The margins are quite a bit larger as well, and I think just the text and everything is just nicer. So trading up for a much better copy. I don't know when it quits filming. Okay, and then this last stack of books that you already saw me pluck from my shelves, I'm going to do a read it or unhaul it around these books. Obviously, I haven't read these. That is Shadow City, Cast in Firelight, The Legend of Eli Monpress, The Iron Trial, Everland, Tiger Lily, and The Dark Curiosity. All right, I think that's everything. I think that wraps up this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this, and we'll see you soon. Bye.